All right. So excited you guys are here and so honored. We were just talking about it and talking about it with Ashley too. Like these are late calls sometimes, Just got the little ones to bed. It's like your body is saying, okay, get your PJs on and go get comfy and go night night. But in your heart, you're like, no, let's go. Like let's connect with our people. And so it really does mean so much to be here with you guys this evening. I know some of our team is in Cancun, and so we get to hear from them next week, and I am here for it. Like I cannot even handle the FOMO right now. I thought I was doing good. I cried when I declined the trip. I did cry. Not like hard cry, but I was sad and hated having to decline it. But we had a lot. We were in a hotel in Concord, North Carolina instead, as our home was remediated.
Very close to Cancun.
Cancun and Comfort Inn and Suites. I mean, it's about the same, or whatever hotel we were in.
Thank
What were
you.
we in? I don't even know.
Homestead, Home Suites. But I think you
Something.
almost cried almost harder about the bags that the
Yeah, I think I would have gone just for the bags. Those were epic bags, were they not? Anyways, I can't wait to hear from everyone that did go. I think half of us that earned it went, and of us that earned it stayed back. Kind of 50-50. But they're powerful trips and they're such a blessing. Even just watching everyone's videos and pictures, I'm just reminded like what a gift this is. I was in the car with one of my kids today, and she was like, Mom, this time last year you took us on a cruise. And it was probably one of my favorite trips ever, taking 5 kids on a cruise and watching their excitement, their gratitude, but also realizing that's something I never would have been able to do or even have prioritized to do or figured it out. I just don't think I would have done it. And so we just started reminiscing about, her first leader retreat when she was really young, going to Washington,
Hmm.
D.C., or going to Disney World, and asking her perspective as a kid of what was it like to watch your mom go from a stay-at-home mom to building a business. And I think it's easy, I don't know if any of you moms relate, where you can get that mom guilt sometimes. You're like, is it okay that I'm doing this? Do my kids like it? And you're juggling all the things, and hearing her perspective was so sweet, so motivating. And I'm just like, well, let's do some more trips then. Let's take the kids on more vacations. It really is so special what's available here. The income's great, the products are great, but the gifts and the travel is just something that is really, really so special. Well, we have some stuff to cover tonight, and I'm excited about it. I feel like what has been on my heart the most in February is really going back to some foundational things so that as we continue to grow, we grow with wisdom, we grow with legacy in mind, we grow with long-term growth in mind. Because, so often there's incentives, there's the trips, there's the contest, there's the I don't know, or an iPad or a cute cup or a sweatshirt, right? Like there's these different things along the way. But then I want to, more than that, though, make sure it's sustainable for you long term and really is a blessing to you. I don't want you to like do the work and then look around and be like, where'd that all go? I want to be residual as best we can, and to use some strategy in your efforts to really maximize it. And so this month we've discussed subscription rate, right? Duplication rate. We had 2 corporate calls with covering the compensation plan and the back office. And we've really just been laying so much foundation. And I really felt that this week we'd hone in on what does it look like to build depth? Why do we build depth? What's it mean to taproot or to have a taproot? And so we'll kind of go through that. I'm going to see if I can even turn my camera and work on a whiteboard, maybe a little bit. Depends on if it's backwards and there's a glare. We shall see. I meant to grab a little one. I might even ask you to grab it too at some point
where is it?
if we need it. Schoolroom, bottom shelf on the left by the coloring books.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, that's where it is.
That's a
And the
mom. That's a
small
mama if I've ever heard one. Let me grab that school room bottle shelf
bottom left by the
outside
coloring book.
next to the garbage
And
can.
there's small whiteboard markers in the drawer.
Wow.
Yeah. Yay. All right. But before we dig into that, I asked Ashley to share what she's been seeing in her business. She's had a great enrollment month in February, but I just happen to know some of her behind the scenes. And I think it's a really valuable testimony. I think it's powerful to hear from one another what's working, right? What unlocked some growth for you. And so, Ashley, if you don't mind just letting people in behind the scenes as to your process and what it has done for you in this last month.
Yes, thank you so much, Krista. I'm just gonna quickly share, like Krista said, kind of what's been going on since the new year really is when this kind of all started. So I've been sharing Plexus on and off for I'm coming up on 5 years this summer. Very much like related to what phase of life I'm in. So like first trimester, you're not going to see me doing anything. And then I start feeling better and I get in my back office and I'm like, oh no, people have stopped ordering. Like what is going on? Like I just came back to life and now like I don't know what's going on. Postpartum, you're not going to see me much. So definitely been like ups and downs for me over the last 5 years, not been consistent for that entire time. Which is probably part of part of the problem, I guess you would say. So at the beginning of this year, I'm 6 months postpartum now and starting to feel more like myself. And I said to my husband, like, okay, I think with Plexus, like, I'm not seeing any of the results I want. Like, I'm kind of halfway doing it, halfway not doing it. Like, I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm either needing to like do it or not do it. Like, I need to just like make a definite decision because I'm realizing like obviously what I'm doing is not working. I'm not adding people. I have no business builders. Like I'm not seeing the results I'm looking for. So we kind of talked about it, prayed about it. We decided like, all right, let's just like go for it. And I said, you know what? Let me just reach out to Morgan. Like I had a few ideas of like what I should do, but then I was like, I don't know if that's a dumb idea or like I don't know what to do really. So I'm like, let me just reach out to Morgan. She's my upline. Like this is what you do, right? So Morgan put me in a group chat with her and Krista and they just like coached the mess out of me, encouraged me, built me up, gave me tips. So that would be like my first biggest takeaway from this entire thing is like if you're not seeing results that you want, like reach out, like get the advice, get the coaching, watch the trainings. Like we have so much resources at our fingertips. So that would be like that's my first takeaway is just, reach out and do the things. So I guess then I'll just say this before I get into the practicals of what advice they gave me and as I implemented it, how I'm seeing the results. So, like Krista said, I have not added any new customers or anything in some time. And as soon as I started implementing some of these super easy practical things that they shared with me, I enrolled 4 new people this month. Actually, I think I might have just had someone sign up just now. I have to check my messages because I've seen her come up and she was like, I'm really excited. So I'm like, I think maybe she just ordered right now. Um, so it's working. I'm seeing the fruit of doing what Morgan and Krista told me to do. Not that they told me like you have to do it, but like, hey, if you want to see results, this is what you could try. And it's working. So, not even just seeking coaching, but being coachable and doing the things that our amazing leaders are telling us to do because um, I'm seeing the fruit of it right now. Um, so I think that was everything else gonna say about that part of it. So just some of the practical things that they encouraged me to do and what I implemented that's been working. The first thing was really finding my why. And I feel like I know Krista has tons of trainings on this and I've seen posts about it, but really just digging into like, why do I want to do this? Like, what are my goals? Like, what's my dream team look like? Like, this is a big conversation that I was having, and that I have had with Morgan of like, I really want to have a team and I want to have business builders, but like, what does that look like? Like, how do I make that happen? Kind of a thing. So just vision casting, like what kind of people do you want to be on your team? Like think about them. And even if you know specific people, like think about them, pray about them, talk to them about it, kind of a thing. Setting goals and visioning. And then my biggest takeaway too was consistency, which like I kind of said at the beginning, that was something I have kind of always struggled with just in different seasons that I've been in. So posting consistently, following up, and reaching out, like all of these things is what makes the biggest difference. Um, and then I will say this too about posting. One thing that I think we kind of talked about, and I've seen it on some trainings too, like You really got to remember, and I'm like constantly reminding myself of this when I feel like I'm posting like too much or like saying too much of the same thing. Like people are not seeing every single thing that you post. Like I had one of the girls who signed up with me this month. We were just after she had ordered, we were talking about all the things related to gut health, and I said something like, yeah, I never knew like I had the worst acne, cystic acne ever, and like Plexus totally cleared it when I started it. I'm like, I'm sure you've seen my pictures of that because I post about that all the time, and she's like, no, I never seen that. And so I'm like, okay, so, people are not seeing everything that you're posting. They see bits and pieces of it. I mean, maybe some people are seeing all of it, but probably not. So not being afraid to just like keep sharing, and then following up and reaching out. The other big thing that I've started implementing and now I'm starting to have conversations with people about the business is not being afraid to post about it and talk to people about it. So the one thing that they said was like, and I've heard this over and over again, and just it took me a long time to be like, you know what? I should probably just do what they're suggesting because it's probably going to work. Of like when people sign up, talking to them about it, like, hey, do you have like one person that you would want to do this with? And then when they do that, be like, you really only need like two more friends to start with you, and then you're getting $300, which is amazing. Like, who doesn't want that? And then you're not doing it by yourself. So, like having these conversations with people right when they sign up, but also posting about it. Like, that was a big thing for me to overcome. And so, I feel like it did take that conversation with them to make me realize, like, this is a huge blessing to me. Like, I don't work a job outside of my home. Like, I left my career as a nurse to do this. Like, how many other moms out there who are like in the same boat who would just be like, wow, I would love, like, just to have a little extra wiggle room. Like maybe I want to go get my nails done every once in a while, or, put my kids in soccer without being stressed. Like, so posting these kinds of things like authentically, like, hey, this is what it's done for me personally. Like it could be like this for you too, and just being yourself in it, like sharing your own thing. And I've seen fruit from that already, like conversations I'm having with other young moms of like, oh yeah, like I would like that too. Even one of my new customers that just signed up this month, she's in her 80s, and she was like, I really want to like tell some of my friends about this because they're always complaining about this and that with their health. And I'm like, maybe this is what they need too. So like if I had never said anything about your referral link, or now they're getting like coupon codes in their email. So I'm like, your friends are going to get money off. So like, naturally kind of bringing up those sorts of conversations. And then the last thing that I really felt like what really I think that Morgan suggested it is putting people's testimonies like into your story or posting them or sharing them with people. This is something so simple, but I don't know why I would have never thought of it. But even I've been thinking about it even today, thinking about this Zoom, like with this new combo, the GLP-1, like weight loss, all this stuff. I would say historically, I would have never posted about it because I'm not taking it personally because I'm, breastfeeding, whatever. Weight loss is not my goal right now. I have no weight loss testimony. That's just not something that Plexus did for me personally. So I often would feel like, well, I'm not going to talk about that because everybody's going to know like that's not something that I did. You know what I mean? So, but honestly, almost I think all but one of my new signups this month was for the GLP-1. It's what people want. Like it's going crazy, I feel like. And it's so, if you don't share something just because you're like, well, this isn't my story, like you never know what someone else might see. So even if you're like, like for me, skin is a big thing for me. And so I talk about it a lot. Maybe you don't have that, but you put that picture in your story, and someone who has skin struggles is like, oh, yeah, like I really need that, So, like, you never know what your audience wants. And so, not being afraid to share other people's stories, because I have no doubt that this new GLP-1 combo is going to work. Like, I'm not taking it, so I can't say for myself, but I'm like, I know that everything Plexus makes works because I've experienced it in all different ways, too. So that was one practical that I really, when I sat down and thought about it, I was like, that makes so much sense. Like, not everybody's gonna have the same struggles I have. So sharing other people's stories and testimonies, and I've had people message me and they're like, yes, this is like exactly what I've been looking for. And I'm like, yes, like let's do it. So those are just some of the practical things that Krista and Morgan had encouraged me to do. And as I'm doing them, I'm seeing the results. But I would say number one above anything else, like if you ever get to the point where you're like, my business is not looking the way I want it to, something's obviously not working. Like, we're so lucky to have such great leaders that we can go to, and they'll encourage us, it's just that was my biggest takeaway of like just doing the things. Morgan was like, try to get on the Zooms, which is what we were talking about before. That's late at night. And I was like, as soon as my baby is sleeping through the night, like I'm so on there. But I've gained so much knowledge even just the last few weeks, like hopping on these Zooms and listening, like, I'm usually camera off, like laying in bed ready to go to sleep. But like, I'm getting the information and learning. So that is yeah, that's my biggest takeaway. And thank you, Krista, for letting me share that. And of course, for, just helping me along the way. And I'm really excited for what's to come in my business.
Yeah, it's so good. So good. I'm so proud of you and seeing the fruit so quickly. Like that was amazing. Keep us posted if that was number 5. And it means you're what, one away from getting the hoodie too, which is so fun. I think it's so simple, right? Like all the things that she shared, some of you might have been like, yes, we know to do these things, right? But I think sometimes just it needs to fall on fresh ears. And I think we're most eager to learn when we realize, wait, what I'm doing isn't working. And so for Ashley to just have that self-awareness to see, hey, I'm making posts online, and she make actually like fantastic posts. Her content's amazing, right? But for her to realize, wait, I'm making content, I'm showing up online, but I'm not seeing the results I desire, and to pursue coaching. And then kudos even to Morgan. It really ties into what we're talking about with building depth, right? She brought in an upline. She didn't have to do that. She's a sapphire, right? But she wanted to even get another perspective. Her and I have built very similarly, but we also have different strengths and different perspectives. And I tend to be one who really quickly is going to go right back into check your foundation. How's your why? Is your why being expressed? Do people feel it? I want to make sure. And I go back to that a lot with people. And then we just went back into, the basics that she shared. And I think that is so helpful and so good, Ashley. Thank you. Also, your before and after. Is there anyone here who hasn't seen her skin testimony? Because it's possible there might be ladies here. And if you ever want to just even throw that in Revive Rally, that they can share in their stories, I think would be really good too. Well, I want to talk a bit about depth. Hey.
I'm excited to hear it. See all these notes.
Oh, they're all over the place. Some are typed, some aren't, and it's just all over. But I threw this in the chat and I want to read it here. Width creates excitement, depth creates security. Frontline gives momentum, depth gives legacy. Building width is so exciting. Does everyone track with me if I talk about width versus depth? You can unmute at any time, by the way, like literally, as I start digging into this, or if I pull up a whiteboard, unmute, ask questions, let us just be in the living room, even though this is my office. But like, let's just sit together, unmute, ask questions, do whatever. I'll probably miss it if it's in the chat. So like, interrupt me and I'll think that's amazing. I won't be bothered. Okay. So width is going wide, right? You're adding your level ones, which is way exciting. It's like thrilling, isn't it? Ashley, is it not like so exciting when like you just had someone sign up probably. It's the best thing ever. It's just like you're always so filled with wonder, like what could happen for them? What could their testimony be? What could this be for their family? And you begin this journey with people and it's so amazing. And then, of course, Plexus does all kinds of incentives. So that's also super fun. And it counts towards contests and prizes. And I just think their prizes are the best thing since sliced bread. And so it is so exciting. And it does create momentum. Your momentum has to happen first before team momentum. Personal momentum always precedes team momentum. And so it is so important to go wide. But depth is what creates security, and depth gives legacy. And you really do need both. It is easy to swing a pendulum and you're like enrolling and rolling and rolling. And then you're like, oh, I need to help them. And so you swing the pendulum over here and you're like, build depth, build depth. Oh no, wait, I'm losing momentum over here. And you swing back over here, but you really need both. And I would say it's an 80-20 rule for almost everything. And so when you sit down to do your work, it doesn't take super long to do your things each day, but like put your stuff first. So build width first, do your personal IPA first, and then take that last 20% to be working on depth. All right. Go wide, grow really deep as well. I don't know plants, and I could have taken the time to study plants about like what is a taproot and all the things. I was jabbering to Chad earlier, and I threw out the word topsoil. He's like, topsoil, come on, like I don't even know what I'm talking about. But like literally, if I was like even Chad, okay, he was working on our yard. He put in so much time and effort into our yard, clearing out bushes and vines and stuff, gets all this grass seed planted or laid out there or sprinkled. I don't know. It's all out there, and a storm comes. And that stuff washed away. Like there went his dreams of beautiful
So sad.
grass. It was so sad. But I think that's what it's like in our businesses. There are times where you've put in the effort and you've done so much. And then you're like, where did it all go? Well, it was right on top. It was right in that level one, level two. There wasn't roots yet. It didn't go down deep. And it's like sitting on top, so it got washed away. But I think a taproot like gets the nutrients and the water. Like you really want to build down deep. And I have some real life like examples. I had so much fun being a total nerd looking in my own back office to see some like evidence of what I'm going to teach you here. Okay. So, why would we build depth? Because you might say, like, Krista, this makes no sense. Didn't you know that a level one is only 1 point if they do 100 PV? And yeah, I totally know that. But there's so much more than that. And was it Nick Clark that mentioned earlier this month that was it Diamond Teams? I messaged him. I'm like, what was this quote? Because I can't figure out which notebook I was taking notes in that night. Anyone else do that? I've got like 7 notebooks. But I think he said that the majority of points for large teams comes in like levels 4 through 7 or something like that. And I was like, whoa. But let's talk through some reasons why, and then I'll talk through the how. Number one, attrition is inevitable. It is inevitable. There will be people who really like they might not be called to this. We have to remember not everyone is going to do this forever, right? Some people this isn't even what they should be doing. They might have a heart and a passion for something different. Some are here for a season, some are here for the long haul, but we do have to recognize attrition is going to happen. The faster we can remove our emotions from it or take it personal, the better. It is just a part of it, right? But depth really does protect you when you have attrition. And I'm going to share real life examples of how it does. I'm trying to think if I want to show you this first and then tell you these examples. Let me show you this. If you can see, let's see what happens here. Because it's pink and I don't even see it. Can you see any of that pink? I should have used black. Can you guys see this? Oh, mercy sakes. Can you see this at all? Ash is like, no, shoot, 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 shoot. Okay, pretend in your mind. Maybe I'll put it on here. Or chat if you want to. Will you do like 15 rectangles on this? Or you can trace it with blue. Okay. Pretend in your He's like, do what? You could do it up there. Would you trace that with blue? Would it work? Try it. Let's see what happens. I'll give you the examples, then I'll show you. Thank you. Wait, before you go further, can you guys see blue if he does that? Or if I get closer, can you see blue? Okay, all right, I'll let him trace that. Okay, let me tell you these examples and I'll show you on a whiteboard. It's not fancy, I promise. What I did is I went back in time to my first 3 builders who joined in my first 6 months, okay? And they do not build currently, but there is still teams there. And I want to talk to you about this, okay? Because attrition does happen and it's okay. My very first builder, so when I first started, if someone was a customer and they just wanted products, I just had them sign up as a customer. I only signed up someone as an ambassador if they wanted to build a business. And it was set up a little bit differently back then, but also I was naive and I didn't know people joined just for wholesale prices. And so if they wanted to be a customer, I was like, here's how you become a customer. And then I really was looking for like who wanted to be an ambassador, like on purpose. Like it meant to me that they wanted to build a business. Okay. So my very first builder joined me in month 2. In January, when I first joined, I made my first post January 7th, 2015. I had all customers in January, earned like $400, thought that was the best thing ever. Month 2, I signed up my first business builder. Okay. So this is February 2015, 11 years ago. I looked up that team, that leg that's there. All right. Currently, that leg averages about 50 points a month of consistent customers who love the products and are still around. Like they still love what it does for their health. They're still ordering. All right. That team is still 6 levels deep. And there's still some activity. Sometimes you'll see some new people join here and there. My second business builder joined in March. I had a sip and see. And that leg, that team is a senior Ruby holding team. So 750 points on average, sometimes more or less, comes from that team. It is still 11 levels deep, and there's still new joins on that leg as we go. Okay. Third business builder joined in June of that year, so 10 and a half years ago. Consistently, there's gold points on that leg. So about 20 customers that love the products and still order. Okay. No one's really building, but they love the products. That team is 8 levels deep and gold points consistently. Did I say that? So these 3 teams that started in my first 6 months as a Plexus ambassador back in 2015, from the work back then, 11 years ago, those connections, those meetings, those Zooms, the sip and sees, all the things, it's not like their whole team grew in those first 6 months, but they all started then, right? That work started 11 years ago. And from those 3 legs that are not active, 900 points is in my business. And I stopped there. I just looked at what were the first 3 people that were business builders. Like a huge part of my journey back then, a huge part of it. Like it was the best thing ever to have builders, right? Early on. But I was focused very early on building depth. And our goal, our why was residual income. And so to see it pan out 11 years later, are their teams what they once were? Are they as many points as they once were? No, that's okay though. Like sometimes that hurts, right? And you're like, oh, where'd they go, right? But really, it's okay and it's normal. And that just happens in business. But the beauty of residual income and the beauty when you're with a company that has products that work is people do keep ordering. And that's why it is so crucial. We help them, whether it's their subscriptions, right? The 90 days. If someone is on these products for 90 days, they will have a testimony. They will see the results. And it's like an 80 some odd percent chance they'll stick with it because they were consistent long enough in the beginning to see change. And that change, like, why would you ever want that to go away, right? We really do have products that change lives. I want to kind of show you what this looks like. Let me see if I turn this. Can y'all see that now? And Chad, you can always move it closer for me. So I was drawing, if there's 15 levels on a leg, okay, you have 15 levels. And we know that you're only paid 7 levels deep, which is an epic thing about our compensation plan. It means you really can join anywhere, anytime, and you can surpass your upline, okay? You can surpass my income, you can surpass Morgan's income. I love that we're paid 7 levels deep. By the time you get to about level 7, you're not working a whole lot with some of these people down lower. You tend not to be as it gets further and further. And so it just makes sense that you'd have 1 point for a level 7, 2 points on a level 6, right? So if I am working with a leg, I have a builder here and I begin to taproot and I find a builder on level 2 and then I find a builder on level 3 and I just keep working my way down, which I'll explain further. And I work that leg to where there's 15 levels. That might not make sense today. I'm not getting paid on anything on level 15 personally. But I think kingdom mindedness says, I don't even care what level anybody is. I'm going to work with anybody because I believe in what I do. And so it's not even really crossing my mind what level somebody is. I just love what I do and I love sharing it with others because this is real and I want it for them. There's that aspect. I'm also a believer that when there's a fire in the basement, the whole house stays really warm, right? So if level 15 is so excited and they're just going bonkers and they've got a big dream, I'm pretty sure level 1 through 14 here is also pretty excited because there's someone with crazy momentum down here, right? It's healthy for the entire team. But then over time, say along the way, this person right here, number 9, level 9, they decide they're not ordering anymore. They're not doing plexus anymore. I don't lose all of this. We have compression, right? And so all of these, I wish I had actual blocks. They just go, they just lock right in place. They move right on up, right? And then over time, maybe this one does. All of these just move up. And so it was 15 levels deep, but then maybe it's 13 levels deep. But say like 5 levels quit. If I have a team that's 15 levels deep and 5 people quit, that leg is still 10 levels deep. Are you catching what I'm saying here? Do you see the security there? Do you see the longevity there? Do you see that this leg is probably not going anywhere? Those legs I mentioned used to be pretty deep. The fact that now they are still 11 levels deep, 8 levels deep, right? It means that 11 years ago, we probably had them quite a bit deeper, but that was a huge, huge driving force. I was constantly looking for how to solidify a leg. I am not satisfied if a level one's excited. I love that. I love helping a level 1, but I want to help them succeed long term by driving depth and securing their team, securing their income for them. So if there's a crisis, that still comes in. Alita, when she lost her husband, right? That income still came in. I had someone reach out to me. I think I put it in the rally chat where she grew up in a single mom family. Her husband, oh my goodness, her dad had passed away, but he did network marketing and her mom got the income and she never had to go back to work. It sustained their family when her dad passed away. Now she's in Plexus and she's like, of course I'm doing network marketing because I've lived it. Like it just fueled her belief because she literally has lived what is possible in this industry. And I think it's one of the coolest things about what's offered here. So that was number 1. Attrition is inevitable, but depth protects. It really does protect it, right? Number 2, leaders often emerge deep. Stats show that most future leaders appear several levels down. My first diamond was a level 3. Second was a level 2. Okay. Um, it, it is we want every level 1 that we recruit and we help get started to become a leader, but not every level 1 will. Some might just be a connector. They might just love the products, but maybe they connect you with someone who they really want to build a business. Or maybe that level 2 was also a connector who led you to a level 3 who was like, no, I want to go to Cancun with you. Like I want to do this forever. I've met some of my best friends, favorite people ever through doing something that's businessy called taprooting, but really it's just loving people and building relationships and having the best time ever. Like Tammy, I see you even here. I'm like, man, Tammy, I don't even know. Are you a level 4, 5? I don't know. To me, she's my level 1, maybe a 4. But I wouldn't have known her. Like we would have not seen each other's stuff on Facebook when I first started. We met because of connectors along the way. It is so cool that you are going to meet some of your closest friends by doing something that has a business term or whatever term or a plant term called taprooting. All right. Um, number 3, residual income grows exponentially. So have you seen the videos? Actually, I think one was just done today in Cancun that I heard was amazing. Alita and Marianne did it about the power of 3, right? Where they show you and you help 3, but then each of the 3 help 3. And all of a sudden, like it grows so much in your level 2s. It's so much more than what you did on level 1, right? Well, what if all 9 level 2s each add three. And so it like the way it exponentially grows is crazy. Like, and it reaches where you're like, this is going to grow with or without me. I remember the month that we went diamond and the next month re-entry, it was in the bag. There was that much momentum. I knew on the first day of the month, diamond was happening with or without us because there was so much momentum down deep within the organization on several legs. It was just a done deal. It was like the perfect storm. The timing was right. Everything was there and in place. And that is the beauty of building in that way. Number four, compression rewards deep builders. So similar to what I showed you, compression's a gift if you are a deep builder. Where it's like some companies, y'all, if someone quits, you lose the whole leg. Isn't that wild? It's actually very, very common where compression does not exist. In flexes, it very much exists, and it can exist just on a month-to-month basis. Maybe one month you have a level four who just decides they're not going to do 100 PV. They don't really care. They don't need a paycheck either, and it's fine. There's compression for that month. Does that make sense? And I can explain that further, but on a monthly basis, you'll see compression in your points. And it really does reward those who build deep organizations. Even if people quit, active volume compresses, right? And it compresses upward. I wish I did have like actual blocks just to show you. Like it just continues to stay there. If you're 15 levels deep and people are lost along the way, you're going to keep those top 7 levels pretty filled for a long time. Number 5, it provides emotional stability. And I'm going to expound on this. Depth prevents your identity being tied to your level ones and to your frontline legs. I'm going to read some of this. Chat GPT literally helped me on this part. Okay, let me share some of this here. It is so good. When someone builds mostly width, frontline only, level ones, right? Their emotions often rise and fall with their personally enrolled people. So if a frontline person, that level one, because they tend to also be those closest to us, especially in the beginning, right? They're like our friends, we know them. If they quit, they stop ordering, they lose momentum, they become negative. It can feel like your business is collapsing, your confidence can drop, motivation drops, identity gets shaken because your sense of success was tied to those people sticking with you. But depth changes that. When you build depth, your organization becomes bigger than your frontline friendships and relationships. So even if a level 1 slows down, or a level 2 quits, or a level 3 disappears, momentum still exists deeper, leaders still emerge, volume still flows, your belief stays steady. Your emotional state is less reactive. And I have literally lived this. It is very, very true. If you are a frontline only mindset, you only add level ones, maybe you have some duplication to a level 2, you're essentially saying my success depends on these people. Like they need to work. And if they'll work, then we can make it, you know. But depth mindset says my success depends on my duplication. And it's not dependent on a certain individual. Okay. It is very easy for this sort of thing to happen. And it can happen in different ways. It can happen if you have a level 1 who is not even open to you helping with their business. Then if they decide they're done, typically that team's done. Like if you haven't been allowed to even be a part of that team where they're a part of a larger family, it can really have an impact, right? But it can also happen, I think, just because it's out of our genuine love. Like we're just so excited to help these people. And we can stay a little bit too busy with the level ones that we really aren't intentionally doing it. But it is a key to taking yourself off of the emotional roller coaster that can be found as an entrepreneur, but especially within this journey. If we think like, oh my goodness, if my level 1 gold quits, like then what will happen we're like in our mind, we don't even realize it, but we've attached success to whether or not they'll keep building. That can feel defeating. But if you have built depth and you have relationships that you've built there, and someone decides it's not their season right now, they're going through a crisis, right? Whatever it is, that actually has less impact on you because there's an entire family tree here that you are helping, and that team is already engaged. They're plugged into the larger team. Like it really, it stays very sustained in a really healthy way and can affect you a lot less. What does it look like to tap root? It is essentially it's mentoring your downline beyond who you personally enrolled, right? You're just helping, you're going past your level ones and you're helping your level twos and your level threes, your level fours. Um, Step one, identify the momentum deep on your team. Work wherever the excitement is the highest. This isn't based on what rank is somebody or even how many have they enrolled, but who is most hungry? Who is hungry for your time? And where do you see excitement? Where do you see people showing up online and posting? Who's asking questions? Who's engaging in the chats, right? Who's showing up on a Zoom? You're looking for that to see where to begin taprooting. I can think of so many different moments where all of a sudden I would see something showing up on social media and be like, oh my goodness, who is this person? Where are they within our team? And I want to make sure they're supported and being helped because like they're really showing up really, really well. Step two, connect with them personally. Treat everyone like they're personally enrolled by you. Now, in the our team has gotten larger, and so it doesn't look the same now, but I would say silver to emerald. Every single time anybody joined my team, part of my IPA was looking for them on Facebook, sending a friend request, and sending a 1 minute or less message. And I highly encourage you to do this. And it was super simple. My name is Krista Deary. Welcome to Team Revive. Welcome to Plexus. I'm so glad you're here. I'm praying that this is as much of a blessing to you as it has been for us and for our family. If you have any questions along the way, let me know. I'm simply just a part of your family tree here, and available to help in any way. Like literally, it was something like that in for every person. And some would be like, hi, thanks. Some didn't accept the friend request. Some were like, oh Lord, like who is this stranger reaching out to me? But others were like, yes, actually, I do have questions. And it was just so worth its weight in gold doing this and building relationships past my level ones. Um, so send them a message. You can celebrate their wins if you see, a great post or great engagement, or you notice that they enrolled somebody in your back office, send them a message. And like basically you're saying, I see you. I see you showing up. And that can mean a lot to people that are down in depth within your team, especially the larger that it gets. You could offer to help them. I love looking at the end of the month, especially like where is a level 5, a level 6, a level 7, really anybody who maybe they've added two and they're one person away from silver. I would send a message and say, hey, I was looking through our team here at the end of the month, and you are so close to the very first rank. I'm assuming you already know that. It looks like you're showing up so well, but I personally want to help you. And if there's someone else that's on your radar, let me give them a $10 rebate. And I would just invest in them. Or let me do like a gift card, whatever, and would come alongside them to help them reach that first goal. And sometimes it was people who didn't even realize that they were that close. Maybe their sponsor was brand new as well. And they were like, wait, what? If I add one more, I'm going to get a bonus. So it was worth my time at the end of the month to look through, study the back office, and look for who to be working with and treat them like a level one and help them reach their goal. Number three, you just continue to build that downline pressure essentially, or create that fire down in the basement. Like, I would travel to different states even, and it was fun just lighting fires, really. Like, I don't know. I remember that quote, like light yourself on fire, people will come to see you burn.
Mhm.
It's a really weird quote, but it's kind of true. Like that people are just like, whoa, this is so exciting. And they just want to watch more, right? People are in Cancun right now. I kind of want to keep stalking their stories, right? Like when people are in momentum, uh, others are drawn in and they're saying, what are you doing? And how is that working? And so it really is true. So look for who can you do an event for? Who can you help with like a launch event, offer to do a Zoom, to do a messenger event, right? help them in any way. And then step four, connect them with their upline too. And so the goal isn't that you're like going around and it's like this sneaky, horrible thing.
Mhm.
No, like, and so it might be a three-way chat. I mean, Morgan did it perfectly. It wasn't that I needed to pursue Ashley, but then include Morgan. Morgan was already doing this and she doesn't even have to, but she and I have both seen it. There's just such value in getting different perspectives and in bringing someone into the broader family tree. It really is powerful. So if you are building a business, I really want to encourage you as you have people start and get going on your team, connect them to your upline or uplines plural. Create a group chat. Hey, so and so, this is and somebody, and she just joined. I want to make sure you guys connect too. It is life-giving because the goal is you don't want a team dependent on you, right? Like, because what if you're sick?
Mm.
What if you're going through something and your team is only dependent on you? They've only connected with you. They don't even realize there's other uplines that they can reach out to as well. That's going to be really, really tricky, right? But it's beautiful that you can get to a place where you can say, I'm going to take this month off, but you know who to reach out to if you have any questions. Hey, we're going to go on a family vacation. I'm not going to be on social media for 2 weeks, but you guys know who to connect with. Ask questions on the team page, reach out to your upline because they're already connected. There is so much value long term for you in this. To this day, I have downline who they connect really well with my sponsor, or I have downline that connect really well with my upline diamond. Lori Harrison, right? And she's running like the detox group, all that. I love that our team can be plugged into that detox group and learn from her. And there's some even where their personalities, that's a perfect fit. So you're gonna have some who like your personality is exactly what they need. But what if they don't? What if they gel really well with your direct sponsor or someone further up in your line of sponsorship? And so I just want to encourage you. It can feel vulnerable for some people. Often it can expose where maybe there's been pain in the past or a trust deficit. So, like, if you find yourself hesitant of like, you really want to protect your people, lean into like, where did that come from? Okay. And help like heal that, because it really is shooting yourself in the foot. It's like it really can be so destructive and it's not ideal. It'd be like raising your kids and they never know your grandkids, their grandparents. It'd be like raising your kids, but you don't have grandma's help, and you need a babysitter, but grandma's doesn't even know you have a kid. Like that wouldn't be good, right? So like allow the family to come alongside. It's really, really worth it. Was there anything else I wanted to add? Focus on your newest person at the deepest level. Okay. So you're looking for where's the excitement and also how deep is that leg? And set a goal that every leg you're going to get it 10 people deep and then track it. Like keep a tab on it, right? And then stay until momentum forms. So the goal is not when you're tap rooting, the goal is not that everyone is treated like a level one forever and ever. You will burn out. You will literally burn out. But you're hand holding long enough until there's momentum, okay? And until enough leaders are proving that they're leaders and they're not going anywhere. I'm going to tap root in a leg until someone somewhere in that leg is showing up consistently, is coaching, right? Is doing the same things that I'm doing. Then I can feel like, okay, they're in good hands. And ideally, I want to see 3 to 5 strong leaders in a leg to feel like that's a really secure leg. Does that make sense? When I was, mm, God, I don't know what rank, senior gold, I think. I think it's right when we started setting like office hours, when we were like, we're gonna do this. This is our primary income. I think I was a senior gold. And so I had office hours in the garage on a card table. I had a whiteboard in front of me with my wheel of what I was going to do during my IPA time. It just kept me on track because I can be all over the place. And then I had a notebook, and I would encourage you to do this, especially if you are visual, because if I go into the back office, I do see a lot of names, but it doesn't compute in my brain to see the structure of an organization. I don't know if you're like that at all. And so I would have a notebook, and each page was a different leg. And so maybe, I had Morgan. Well, I would draw her team and that would stay in my notebook. And every time I saw there was someone new on her team, I would add in that circle. I love doing circles and lines like a family tree diagram. I would add that in. And every time I draw a team, strategy emerges. It's like it comes off the page where all of a sudden I'm like, oh my goodness, wait, if this leg goes senior silver and then this leg, they're so close to gold. And then this person over here, they go silver. Like, wait, you're about to go senior gold, right? Like it emerges once I see it on paper. If I'm only looking at the back office, I see names, I see points, but it can be tricky to see the structure for strategy. And so, depending on where your team is at, I would say if you have a team, start drawing it and draw it in faith. Maybe it's all level one right now. Well, you got any builders? Put their names on a notebook, one person per page, and begin to dream and imagine what that team and organization can look like. But that was very helpful for me to have it in a notebook to keep like on top of it essentially. And so that was just part of my IPA, getting into the back office, seeing who was brand new. And then I was also doing weekly events, but following up like nobody's business over that next 24 hours as if each guest was my level one. And so ideally, maybe the person who invited that guest would open a three-way chat, but if they didn't, I connected with them directly. And so if I did an event and 50 people were on that event, my goal that next day, I always had them on Thursday nights. So on Friday, we would see a jump of enrollments of about 20 new enrollments. I knew how to find my downline's referral link, right? So easy to do. And I was helping like just get the ball moving and messaging them, hey, so and so just joined. I'm going to connect you guys, right? But I was doing a lot of the work as I was tap rooting because I was just so hungry to have really, really um, stable legs. So I would encourage you to do that. Connect them always with your upline. Even I think Morgan's just such an easy example because of how often I might be working with someone that's on her team, but then I'm going to send her a message. If it's not in a three-way chat like it was with Ashley, but maybe someone reached out to me directly and we're talking through things or whatnot, I'm going to let Morgan know, hey, I was in a conversation with so and so today. It went so well, and here's where we're at, and here's what we're going to be seeing in their business, or this is their goal that we can be praying for this month, and get to just update her to keep her in the loop because this is her team, right? So anyways, does that make sense? Is that helpful in any way? Does anyone have questions, feedback? Drop it in the chat or unmute, and I'm going to pass it to Chatty too.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Or-
Hearts.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys do these fancy things. Leah, thanks. I just saw your comment.
I I love the idea of, you're connecting down so that the tap rooting, but I think it's so important what you were saying about having people connect up also, because you're building those relationships up is so valuable, and makes people feel so seen. I mean, you guys have always done that. That's why I'm still probably lurking around. It's just, you've always, been available to connect up, and that connecting up with people is makes them feel like they are part of something bigger, something that already has momentum, something that's already alive. So it's really easy to integrate into something where you already see the life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And sometimes it happens so organically, if you've opened a three-way message with someone who's getting started, then you already have a three-way chat and they're already kind of feeling plugged into something a little bit bigger. And then it just broadens from there. That's helpful. Or um, like my business for sure was almost all three-way messages my first couple months. But then later, as I was kind of getting my bearings, if I help someone enroll, then I'd open a three-way with my sponsor, with Lori, like so and so just got started. But just to let them know they were a part of something more, and that if they couldn't reach me, that they would know who to reach out to. And then same thing when I would add them to the team page, because that was a huge intimidating thing for me in the beginning. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm adding every customer to my quote unquote team page. But that was part of the goal as well, is if they can't reach me, they can throw a post on that page and ask questions, or they can use the search bar, or and just catch the vision that, oh my goodness, there's so much more here than what they've seen so far. Tammy, I love that we got to connect this way. How would I have ever met you otherwise? It's such a gift. It's such a gift. Morgan, are you on here from Mexico?
She's
Has
gonna,
she been on here?
gonna speak in Spanish if she goes on mute.
I don't know if she hears me.
She said, hey.
Oh,
Hola,
hi.
¿cómo estás, Morgan?
Do we dare tell your story of
Bien, wow, she
oh
knows.
alohas and
Aloha. Aloha.
Morgan, you need to tell the story.
Should we wrap up?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, wrapping up in prayer.
Wait, there she
Oh, she's gonna tell the story. She's gonna tell it.
tell it. Tell it.
Aloha. Gotta go on mute.
Here, I might be able to unmute her from here. There.
What's up? Babe, can you turn that down? State of the Union address is on, and I turned on Zoom. I can't even see myself.
We see you.
What? Can you guys hear the State of the Union? Or no?
Nah. Ish.
Okay. Anyways, I'm missing all of you guys. It's been an amazing day. We're gonna go live. I was talking to Angela, and at some point we will go live and share. But Krista's about to roast me because when we went to Hawaii, they say aloha every 5 seconds, and I was like, hola, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh no, wrong place, and I couldn't stop. So every time somebody would say aloha, I'd be like, hola. The dearies thought that was so funny.
It was so cute. So cute. And I was too nervous to even respond back. I'd be like, hi. I couldn't even get out. It just felt so weird to say aloha. Speak English. Oh, we miss you. We cannot wait for you guys to go live and then to share everything, all your takeaways from your trip. So good up, friend. Love you and miss you.
Love y'all. We'll chat with you soon. Great Zoom tonight. Miss you guys. You're awesome.
All right, well, we're just going to end in prayer, like we always do. And as I was praying just for the team this evening before we went live, the phrase that I felt like I heard was the advent of the ark. And I was just kind of praying into what does that even mean? And of course, everyone knows the story of the ark. And really feel like, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of knowledge to understand and see that there is a lot of calamity going on. There's a lot of rumors and talks and things that are happening in our society and in terms of financially and in terms of economically, like if it gets to a point of like finances go crazy and gold, silver, there's all these talks and rumors of what could happen, but it's kind of like the advent of the ark is happening right now. I believe is like this season, this time that there is a lot of shift, and there's going to be a lot of shift financially over the upcoming years. And there's two things that you can kind of think about. One is you could walk into it and be like, oh, poop, this is going to be really bad, and I'm like fearful. You can get into fear lane, right? And be like, I don't know what to do. Or you can like be in an expectation and growth. And I think some of the best times in network marketing are at times when there's economic calamity. And, you saw that in COVID, you saw that in other economic downfalls, is that, some of the biggest growth that we've had in our Plexus business is when all the other, everyone else is suffering, our
People
income.
realize they need other streams of income.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But in Genesis 6, verse 18, it says, but as for you, I'll establish my covenant of friendship, and you will escape destruction by coming into the ark. And I just felt like there was like this analogy that the Lord was giving for tonight, that like, man, prepare, prepare before, the flood hits, prepare before the calamity hits, so that either A, like you're ready to, financially protect you and your family before calamity hits, or B, you have a big enough team that now you get to reap the rewards of, what's going on and people jumping on because they need extra income. So but either way, the advent of the ark, I think it's a great time of preparation, and really, like we talked about last week, what would it take? What would it look like if you just gave the next 30 or 60 days everything you got? And I love, Ashley, hearing your story and testimony of plugging in upline and saying, hey, I'm willing to go all in. I just need to know what to do. So that's what we're going to pray about tonight, and we'll just see where the Lord leads. Father God, we love you. We thank you for this amazing time with Team Revive, and thank you for just preparing us, having these financial, like a rescue, that you're throwing out a life preserver for us ahead of time, so that we can get prepared financially, we can get ahead of the game. And we just know that even in economic downfalls like this, there's people looking and praying for something, and we have an answer to their pain, to the problems. And we just ask you, Father God, would you just open up heaven and direct us to the right people that either need these products for their health reasons, or they need another source of income, or both. And so we just declare right now, Lord, that you're directing us, you're guiding us, you're giving us wisdom from heaven, that you're giving us the boldness and confidence to reach out and helping us to prioritize our day. And we just ask you, Father God, that in the advent of an arc of an economic shift, that you would just help us to understand the urgency of the hour of what is happening. And we just thank you, Father God, in advance for all the people that are coming into our teams. We thank you for the increase. We thank you, Lord, for the legacy wealth that will be created, like Krista was talking about tonight, that it would be, even 10 levels, 15 levels depth, that will carry on from generation to generation. We thank you, Lord, in advance. Bless Team Revive and all the people here on the call and all the people that are represented on the teams. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Love you guys. Sleep tight. See you soon.